Is that the end of the episode?
Yeah, I mean, I thought that's where you were going with it.
Oh no!
I do think it's funny that that could be the end of the episode, but I think it's funny. It was like, let's tease something for next week. We never do this, and then it was just like, nope, nope.
Brunch, hit it, boys.
That'll make it sound like I was being such an asshole. What were you gonna say?
I was gonna say, well, number one, we're gonna watch Hubie Halloween.
Oh, right.
For next episode. I'm excited about it. I think that like the early returns have been okay.
Yeah,
it's not the worst. Everybody was saying that it was Adam Sandler following through on his promise to make the worst movie ever made after not winning Best Actor at the Oscars. But I think that people are actually legitimately enjoying Hubie Halloween.
Interesting. I don't know anything about it other than that it's called Hubie Halloween and that Adam Sandler's in it, and people are like, is it bad? Is it funny bad? I don't know what kind of bad it is, but it's bad. Smash that like button. And I'm like, oh, okay. I don't know if this isn't doing a good job of reeling me in, but I mean, having seen Murder Mystery, is that what it's called?
Yeah, the last one, the one with Jennifer Aniston.
Right.
That one stunk.
Right. Having seen that, I'm like, look, I know bad Sandler when I see it.
Right.
Did you see the picture of Adam Sandler going around today that he bought a guitar from a music store, and somebody posted the picture like, Adam Sandler bought this guitar at my local music store wearing like double XL gold gym shorts, and he was just like wearing a sweatshirt and huge gym shorts. Looked exactly like me running out to the grocery store at like 11:30 at night.
Doesn't seem like
to
news.
Get ice cream. Doesn't seem like news.
Yeah.
You're like, that's probably how he goes around.
I mean, that's how he's gone around for the past 20 years.
Like in his movies.
Right.
Like,
yeah. Like he's not hiding who he is.
Right. He looked pretty terrible. Also, though, I was kind of confused. I was like, the guitar he bought wasn't super expensive or super nice. And I'm like, I don't know. I felt this sort of weird pressure I was applying towards a rich person to only buy expensive things. You know?
Well, then you're looking at the wrong guy, because I don't think that Adam Sandler is particularly like, I need to have rich, expensive things.
So that's fascinating then. Like, I've had this conversation with people before. Like, I could come into so much money, and I really, truly don't think at any point I'll have a nice car, because I don't care about that. Like, I do not care about cars, but
I think that if I came into a bunch of money, I wouldn't have like a gigantic house. I would have a nice place to live. I would never buy like a fucking mansion. I would buy something that is relatively modest, because like, I don't want to take care of a giant fucking house.
Yeah, that's a good call.
And I don't need it. Like, I would just rather have something that is, I prefer like cozy to huge and cold.
I mean, I don't know. Like, I'd want. I think I'm the opposite. I do like having a lot of space. Like, I like having different spaces to do different things. Like, I've lived places where I've been able to have like a nice music room, and
I mean, don't get me wrong. I'm not going to
that.
buy a studio apartment and be like, this is the best. Like, I think that like,
I want what you need and no more.
Exactly. Yeah.
Yeah. You don't want to have like.
Although, now that I think about it, I would fucking love a theater room. Like,
went from like, give me like a downtown apartment to like, although I would like to get into basketball.
Yeah, give me a small apartment that has a basketball court. No, I think that I would get like a modest house, but like with a finished basement that I could turn into like a theater.
Yes, that would be awesome. Yeah, I would want. Again, I would just want room for activities and stuff. But I understand what you're saying of like if you had so much money to get all this stuff, you would not necessarily out of saving money. You just like wouldn't
don't
get
need it.
way more shit than you need. You
Right.
know?
So I think where like you would like look at the outside of my house and wouldn't be like, wow, this guy's fucking loaded. This guy must have a ton of money. You wouldn't look at my car and be like, wow, guy has a ton of money. You wouldn't look at me and be like, this guy has a ton of money. I think that you like if you would see me have like a $100,000 gaming setup inside my modest house,
Right.
and I would just like spend money where I think it would be like functional.
Yeah. Would it be good or bad, you think, for your mental health to have all the toys you want? Like if I came into all this money, had a house, like built a cool like music room, even like a studio, if I had like every guitar I've ever wanted, let's say like 15 really nice, like very expensive guitars, every synth, everything production wise I could need.
Mm-hmm.
I think that honestly, it might make me a little sad.
So I get it, and I also think that like there's more pressure to be successful, and like for you, if you had every instrument that you needed and like you didn't make a banger of an album, you couldn't blame it on anything.
Right. Yeah. Oh, yeah. I was talking about that with friends recently, and I think I brought it up on a stream with you. Like, music really gets its hooks in you, where you're convinced, oh, if I get this piece of gear,
Right, I'm gonna make it, man.
I'm gonna be so good. Like, oh, I've had writer's block, and I actually thought this recently. I was having some writer's block that has since started to subside. But once Vineyard Nights came out, a lot of friends and like people that I really respect were so nice and were like, "Hey, I hope you're making more of this. Like, keep it going." And that made me feel so good, and it made me want to like start working on new things. And I just couldn't write anything to save my life because I was just like trying to sit down and like, okay, now write. Except it's not Vineyard Nights, and it's not like a joke, and it's not. There's not like it's not a puzzle that you've already got the pieces to. You kind of got to start from scratch. And I was really struggling with that. So I was legitimately thinking, I was like, if I buy like an MPC, which is like basically like a beat making thing, I was like, I'll be able to make some beats, and then that will get the ball rolling, and then I'll be able to write stuff around that. And that is so that's
such the wrong mindset.
And like, right, just so like when you say it out loud, it's so fucking stupid.
But that's not like that's definitely not a foreign thing. Like I think that a lot of people have that mindset when they're like trying to get into something, and like I think that I've probably fallen into that trap too, where it's like I was getting into streaming and it was like, well, do I spend $400 on a nice microphone? Do I spend like $1,000 on a nice camera? Like, well, that will help me be like. That will help me grow my stream. And it's like, it's just not true. Like I feel like that comes later, but like you should sink money and effort, and like you have to like get into the space and get comfortable in the space before you like try to buy success.
Yes. Right. Like that's so correct.
Like buying I think that happens in photography a lot, where like somebody will buy like a $4,000 camera and be like, I'm going to be a professional photographer now. And it's like, well, no,
right.
You have to have the photography skills to succeed.
Right. Exactly. Again, like you give me a $3,000 guitar and I'm going to make it sound like my $1,000 guitar because like right. I'm not very good at guitar. But if you give a $200 guitar to like any of my friends who play guitar, they're going to make it sound fucking incredible. So yeah, it's so the craftsman. It's not the tools. But yeah, photography is the other. That's like the I would say the biggest. Equal to music in terms of when you get excited about it, you talk yourself into just like buying gear and shit that isn't really going to change anything. Honestly,
Right.
that's kind of why I felt early on with streaming stuff. And I know I haven't streamed much recently on my own thing, but I was like, I'm not going to buy anything for this. I'm just going to use what I have, and I'm going to get good at it. And then once I'm good at it, I'll buy stuff. And you were like, well, you do have to have some stuff.
Yeah, but you have everything that you need right now, and I say that as somebody who literally has basically all the things that you have.
Right.
We basically have the exact same setup.
I've yet to use the capture card or anything. But speaking of like not like talking yourself into like, oh, I got to do this, I got to do this, and I got to make everything as perfect as possible. So I broke my songwriting dry spell the other day, and this isn't going to turn into a podcast of me talking about whether or not I'm trying anything music-wise. I don't think anybody wants to hear that. But I broke my dry spell writing-wise the other day, and normally whenever I think of anything song-wise, I like hear it close to fully formed, and then I spend, I don't know, like weeks making like one pre-chorus sound the way I want it to, and then at the end of like 3 weeks I have one pre-chorus and that's it, and it's just a random thing. And the other day I was like, you're going to sit down and you are just going to, like, you have this idea, you are going to write a song around this, and what you record, this like little demo you make, is not going to sound polished and it's not going to sound good, but by the end of it you are a song will be written, and then if you ever want to dress it up and make it nice, you can do that some other time. And I'm trying to get into that habit, because otherwise, to stick with the metaphor, you just got like a lens but no camera, you know?
Yeah, that makes sense.
Yeah, so that's that. Let's hit on, we're just going to make this a 2-part episode, because we're probably going pretty long here, right?
Yeah, we split it with the fake ending, the fake out ending that we just had. The other thing that I wanted to say, that like programming note that we're gonna do coming up, and I don't know if you're still like in on this, but we discussed it on the Thursday Night Football stream, a World Series stream where we do the hot dogs and beer challenge.
I talked about this with multiple groups of people afterwards. I brought this up, tested what people thought about it. All right. I guess I'm down. Mm-hmm. I've got to... no, I mean, it's just extremely bad for you. It's horrible.
Of course it is.
B, I think I legitimately would not use normal hot dogs.
Like in what way?
I think I would legitimately look up some like low sodium hot dogs or something.
I think that's fine.
Yeah.
I don't think that's crazy.
Because it's not the beer that's going to get you. 9 beers over the course of a baseball game, you're like below the legal limit. Yeah, you're below the legal limit. Baseball games are
4 hours
days long.
Yeah, and they're going to be longer because it's the World Series, most likely.
That's true. So I think that's going to be the most interesting thing. Like, will either of us even seem buzzed? 9 beers.
And we'll have like a ton of hot dogs to soak it up too.
Right.
So yeah, I'm not worried about the beers. The hot dogs seems like it could get gross.
It's 100% the hot dogs. Yeah, I brought that up to multiple groups of people, and it's so funny.
Do they seem interested in it at least?
Everybody says the same thing. They're like, dude, any hot dog after 2 is so bad. And I was like, it's so wild that like the world just knows that. Like
I bumped it up to 3, and I'm sticking with that.
You could do you do 3 comfortably.
Mm-hmm.
Dude, I have been eating 1 pint of ice cream again. This past week probably. I've like eaten a pint of ice cream every day. I've just been eating real trash, treating myself horribly, like drinking more than I should. But if in the midst of this, if someone was like, yeah, all right, hey, now that you ate all that pizza or you did this, like, hey, how about 3 hot dogs? He'd be like, are you insane? You fucking gross. Never. Not in my wildest dreams.
So are you in or no? Are you still in?
I think I'm Tyler in-ish.
Tyler, oh my god,
Tyler Ennis.
I get it now.
What a stretch.
Yeah, seriously. Which one though? That's the question.
Tyler Ennis. There's only one.
There's two.
Really?
Yeah, there's a Tyler Ennis NBA player.
What?
Yeah. I think that he's in the NBA. He was, or he was. He played for Syracuse. He's a Canadian professional basketball player for the Turk Telecom of the Turkish Super League. He played college basketball for the Syracuse Orange, and then he was drafted 18th overall by the Phoenix Suns in 2014.
Oh my God! I want to get a Tyler Ennis jersey that in parentheses says like the NBA
Hockey.
one.
Yeah. Get a what team is Tyler Ennis play for? I think that he just signed a deal. Maybe who is he playing with now? He bounces around a lot.
Right. Who do you associate Tyler Ennis with?
The Toronto Maple Leafs or the Buffalo Sabres.
So it's Sabres for me, and so he was with the Sabres way longer than I thought. I thought that he spent. Yeah, he's really been a wham bam thank you ma'am with like every team other than the Sabres. I thought that he'd had like a couple years in Minnesota. No. Wow.
He had 1 year in Minnesota, yeah.
Yeah, Tyler Ennis is 1, 2, 3, 4. He's 5 teams the last 4 years.
Yikes.
Man, couldn't be me. But shoot, I had a streaming note.
Mm-hmm.
Haven't started my NHL stream yet. Did get NHL. I don't think I've played it yet. Maybe I started to play one game, and I was like, I'm going to save this for a stream because like I don't know what I'm doing, and if I don't know what I'm doing, I should show the world. But
make him part of that journey.
So I looked this up. I think I'd asked you this at some point, and had learned the sad truth about it. I wanted to do a franchise with the Maple Leafs, and I was going to make them as stacked as possible, get everyone in Toronto all excited, simulate the regular season, and then when you get to the playoffs, who's playing the games? Old Dave here, who sucks, doesn't know how to play NHL, and then gets bounced in the first round. So it's mainly just like managing the roster, making them good, and then losing every year, which is like a very fun, sick kind of thing to do to the Leafs. But the more I thought about it, I loved in Madden back in the day moving franchises, and I was like,
relocating the Leafs would be very funny.
What would be an even better way to like fuck with the Leafs than to relocate them? So I meant to look this up.
You're gonna have to. I think you're gonna have to like turn off because like sometimes the ownership won't accept relocation, and the Leafs definitely seem like there's no way the owner's going to allow you to.
Oh wait, you can relocate in the game?
Oh yeah.
Oh, I thought you couldn't.
No, you can.
Oh yes. So let me see. This is going to give away like the joke that I was planning, but whatever. Who knows? I probably wasn't going to execute this anyway. I wanted to. I was like, what would be like the worst, sickest way to relocate the Leafs? And like really make a mockery of the team. And I only had one idea, but it was to move them to wherever the first Staples store was, and change the team name and change the jerseys to like white, red, and gray, and call them the Staple Leafs.
Jesus Christ.
Just really make a fucking mockery of it. And I just Googled where did Staples start? Guess where Staples started?
Pittsburgh.
Brighton, Massachusetts.
No way.
So imagine
that would be incredible. A second Boston team.
The Brighton Staple Leafs. Wouldn't that be awesome?
I mean, that'd be fantastic, and that would trigger the hell out of Leafs fans because not only do they lose their team to fucking Staple Leafs, but it moves to Massachusetts to be a direct competitor with the Bruins.
I would have to make sure, though, I never got good at the game, though, because I wouldn't want them to be like, yeah, that's right. We moved to Boston and took over that dump. Bruins suck. Like I would need the Bruins to still be
Beat
the number one
out of them. Yeah.
Yes, the Bruins would have to be the number one team in town, and the Staple Leafs would have to be this like, why the fuck is this franchise here? This franchise sucks. Franchise.
Hell yeah, I'm down with that.
All right, well, maybe I'll do it. So you can relocate and you can change your team name.
I don't think that you could relocate them to Brighton, Massachusetts. There are preset cities that you can relocate to, but yeah, you can relocate.
Would they let you do a second Boston team?
Probably. Yeah, I think there are like you can double up.
Okay.
Because I think a lot of the times, like what people will do is that they'll move like the Bruins to Boston and they'll just like rebrand.
Okay.
Or similar things of that nature. So you might be able to do it.
I don't know. Boston Staple Leafs doesn't sound as good as like I assumed it was going to be someplace in like California or something, and just like move them somewhere where no one's going to give a shit about them. Change their team name to fucking Staples. I don't know. Could be fun. How's your franchise going?
My franchise is going pretty good. We're cruising along. We're in like the second month now, and I'm having a lot of fun. Buffalo Sabres.
Games?
I'm playing all the games.
Oh, whoa.
Yeah, playing all the games, and it's been going well so far. We've put together a good team in a month.
Nice.
So, hire me, Buffalo Sabres.
And that's what the Sabres. I saw a video. There's like you can be a player mode. Is that a thing?
Yeah. Be a pro. Yeah.
So I watched our pal Mike Grinnell posted a video of himself having like a sit down with his OHL coach because he was being an asshole.
Yeah.
Like his teammates didn't like him.
Yeah.
And Grinnell was just like talking shit about the coach of like.
He was like, I didn't come here to be a good teammate. He was like, I came here to make my money and get drafted into the NHL.
Like I came here to get both of us paid, you fucking idiot.
Yeah.
Like if I'm the number one overall pick, that looks good on you. And I was loving it. I was like, I was kind of getting why people watch people play video games on Twitch. Cause I was like, I would watch this. I would watch Grinnell play. And now I'm being a hypocrite because I'm not going to watch that, but like I have the option to, and I probably won't.
It doesn't matter if you want to, or if you do it, if you are interested, then other people will do it too.
I mean, that like 30-second video he posted fucking ruled. And I was like, yeah, I see why people are into this.
Yeah.
I started to make a soccer player in FIFA, and
I also made a be a pro myself.
Nice. What did you make? Was it Pete Blackburn?
No, it's Rod Love.
Okay.
Because when I was playing, when I did a franchise in college, I was the Washington Capitals, and we got like 4 or 5 years deep, and we got into auto-generated draft classes, and we drafted Rod Love in like the 3rd or 4th round, and he was an absolute stud.
Hell yeah! Everyone has that
like favorite fake player.
Yes. Oh, I told you. Did I ever tell you about Corin Vance in Madden? What we did to that guy?
No.
Oh, it was the best. Drafted him in the 7th round. I don't know, maybe like 5th to 7th round, and we were like, yo, we got a good feeling about this guy. Corin Vance, what a name.
Yep.
And like we worked with him, we did all the drills with him, made him awesome. And after, what did we try to do? We tried to lock him up, and he turned down the contract, which like whatever. And then we were like looking at the roster, going through the roster later, and he had, I don't know if you remember this in Madden, maybe they still do it. Over the person's headshot, it would say, trade me.
Oh, God.
So we're going through the roster, and we see it says, trade me on Corin Vance. And we were like, are you fucking kidding me, Corin Vance? Like, we cared so much about you. We want to lock you up. We were like, we're building our lives around you, Corin Vance. What the fuck? So my friend Mike and I, very rationally decided the course of action was we were going to bench him, let his contract run out, tag him, bench him, tag him again, bench him, and just never let him play football again for the rest of his career.
That's awesome. See, that's the kind of shit that people would go wild over on Twitch.
Really? Just being like extremely petty
extremely toxic, yeah.
To your own made up player that you love more than anything.
Yep.
It was the best. We had like our cap was fucked because we tagged a guy like, I don't know, he kept getting like 10 or 25% more, whatever it was back then, than what he was making the previous year. And we kept tagging him. So he was like the highest paid player in the league by far and never played it down to football. We just ruined his life.
Hell
took
yeah,
away,
I love
gave
that.
him all the money in the world, but took away the only thing he cared about. So you can do things like that. I saw you got a trade request from a was it a trade request or a like,
I tried to give Rasmus Dahlin an extension.
Oh, Dahlin, right.
And he was not into it. And he basically was like, I'm not going to negotiate with you for the rest of the year.
Well, you should have been like, cool. Well, I'll do you one better. You have to negotiate with me ever because I'm tagging you every year and benching you. That's right. I'm adding the franchise tag to NHL because it's, I don't know. I wish that the video games let you do shit like that, but alas. But you like NHL 21 so far?
Yeah, it's been a lot of fun, and the community is really good on Twitch. So
cool. We should. We should play a co-op or something. I did the soccer co-op with the Revs guy, and everybody in the chat was so nice and like really supportive, except for one person who joined late and was like, "Yo, who is this guy you're playing with? He's like a disaster." And then I was like, "Hey, yeah, sorry, like I just started playing recently and like working on it." And then that person was like, "Oh my God, I'm so sorry. I didn't know. Like keep working at it, man. You got this." And I was like, what the fuck is with Twitch? Why are these
Twitch
people
is
so nice?
Right. So that's the thing. Like Twitch communities are very much like there are toxic ones, but
that's what he said. He was like, you
are like what you I guess like inspire or what you curate, because like my chat has been awesome. Like
if you're like, hey,
absolutely.
We're doing positive vibes, then they're probably sending them back.
Yes, 100%.
That's very cool.
Yeah, I mean, it's amazing. Like for Twitter and stuff, you can't avoid just like the absolute headaches and people that make you want to rip your hair out on Twitter. But like you can absolutely do that on Twitch.
Interesting. Nice. All right. Well, shoot. What do I do? I've got.
You got to join. You're on PS4, right? Yeah. Right.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Maybe
so you have to join our hockey team. So like, there's a mode on NHL 21 where like you create your own player and then like you each just play as yourself and you have a team with like 4 people.
Oh, whoa.
Yeah. And so like you absolutely gotta absolutely play with us and join the squad.
That'd be cool. Is there a spot for me? Like I can be part of the scuba squad?
Yeah. It's based on like who else is on at the time. Like you can add like up to like 25 people to your team or whatever. And you obviously can't all play at once, but like if you got 5 people on at the same time, let's run it, man.
That's cool. And what do I make? Do I make my guy Corin Vance?
You can make him whoever you want. I think the team that we had in NHL 20 was the Extra Toasties, because we were really into me and Lee. It was me and Lee and Kellen. Yeah. Me, Lee, and Kellen.
Oh, whoa!
Yeah, that was like those are the foundational pieces of the Extra Toasties, because we were really into the Extra Toasty Cheez-Its at the time.
Oh, those are great.
They're amazing. So we named the team the Extra Toasties. We had like Cheez-It themed uniforms, and we all named our players after like a brand of cheese. I was Monterey Jack.
Cool.
Lee was Spicy Pepper Jack. Kellen. I forget who Kellen's character was, but we had like all these different brands of cheese.
Amazing.
And, that was our player names, and we were all redheads.
Oh, I like that.
Yeah, so it's a cool thing.
Man, I don't know. I'm thinking like, this is ambitious. Should I try to start my franchise tonight?
Why not? Also, if you want to wait, like the roster updates, I think come out tomorrow.
See, I mean, part of my plan with the Leafs was to sign Taylor Hall.
Oh, so, well, he's not a free agent in the game, weirdly enough.
What?
Yeah, so like it's really weird how like the default rosters start, because like all the RFAs are RFAs, but like they start all the players who are UFAs like on the team that they played for last year.
Oh,
so like when I started my franchise, I had to trade for Taylor Hall. He was on the Coyotes, and he was making
the same.
Yeah, I traded for him, and he was making, his salary for the year was like $2.5 million because that was like what his prorated salary,
right,
with the Coyotes was. So it was a really weird situation.
Yeah, that's.
I don't know why they did that.
Speaking of, I don't know why they did that. Let us actually hit some NHL news. Sens signed Daddy.
Yeah, I don't know why they did that either. Are they trying to hit the floor?
Oh, maybe.
But
they only gave him 5 a year.
They gave him 5 years, didn't they?
I think they gave him 3 times 5.
3 times 5. Yeah. I don't know. Like, why did they give Matt Murray that much money?
Oh, I have no idea. That was like,
that's what I'm saying. I think they're just spending money just to spend money.
Yo, they might be getting themselves. I don't know much about their young players.
They have a great system.
Okay, so I was gonna say, NHL wise, they're really at risk of just sucking for a long time. But
no, they got some good young players there.
They got the kid from Vegas. Who's the defenseman in the Stone trade?
Was it Brandstrom?
Yeah, I think so. Eric
Brandstrom. He's a really good player.
Yeah.
The Swedish kid.
Right. The Swede.
Yeah. They had a good draft this year too. They had 3 first-round picks.
Yep, none of them first overall.
Nope, definitely not. But at least they weren't the Red Wings, who had a historically bad year and didn't get any first overall picks either.
Or at least they weren't the Bruins, who didn't have their first round pick because they had to give it to another team so they would take most of a horrible contract they signed. And then in the second round took a player. I feel bad for this kid. I'm not criticizing the kid. They took a player that was not on other teams' draft boards.
Mm-hmm.
Oh my God.
I'd love to see that. So they got Stutzel, who's really good from Germany. Jake Sanderson, USA, good old American boy. And then their third one was Ridley Greg? Something
should I make my franchise the Senators and then trade all the kids for like what would be a really stupid acquisition for the Senators?
Like Zach Parise.
Right. Who's somebody who's like a 33-year-old like good player?
Zach Parise.
Yeah.
He's locked up for like another 8 years.
Yeah. Fucking wild. Dude, you see, that's one way to end the podcast. Bring up the Wild. What am I going to say to that? What are we going to talk about the Wild now?
Oh, no, absolutely not. Goodbye.
Yeah, bye.